7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
This is Eat and Drink with Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano. The podcast where back of house Ali and front of house Marco talk food and drink. Heads up. These two spent decades in restaurants, so some mature content and language is bound to come up. Get ready for Eat and Drink. Forks up.
Okay.
We're here. He comes in hot. He comes in very, very hot.
You come in hot. You came on hot and angry.
Did I?
Like a spiced pepper today.
To your house?
To my house. But that's fine, because you know what? This episode, I'm pulling up my calendar. I should have done this before. This episode here is still part of our holiday episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to brighten up the rest of your night by making you a beautiful cocktail.
I see what you have here. It's a lot. And I've taken a picture of this. We're going to post this, but for real. Unlike the stuff we say we're going to post and we don't.
We're going to just post things.
We're just going to post
so
things.
It's not
gonna... But we can write eggnog episode.
Sure.
Did I give it away? Did I tell people
No,
what it
you're
is?
fine.
Is
You're
it too
fine.
much?
You're
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Here's the thing. You're going to see pictures on our Instagram that are for upcoming episodes. So what you see, that it's not going to reflect the date that the episode is. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be mishmash city. That's how we're going to work it.
But people are going to listen in a mishmash way too, so it works.
Yeah. Listen, before I get to our cocktail, last week we had panettone. You couldn't have it. You chose not to have it.
I don't like to eat a seat cushion. Am I a jerk, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Somebody doesn't like to eat a sponge.
A little bit. It was
joking.
fantastic.
I'm joking.
No,
It looked great.
you're off the wheat.
Yes, I have to be off the wheat.
Yeah, off the wheat. But that means you can have torrone. Have you ever had torrone before?
No, is this nugget here? This
nougat. Yeah, torrone is a Christmas nougat that Italians make. And it's, once again, it's one of these things, and it's not just Italians. The Spanish make it, Filipinos make it.
Turkish.
Some people say that it stemmed from Turkey, and then some people say no, it was Roman during the Samaritan times, whatever that was.
Yeah.
There's a whole rigmarole. But anyways, many cultures make it. Many cultures make it for the holiday season. As an Italian, I've always had torrone. Have you ever had torrone?
I have. I've enjoyed it getting stuck in my teeth for a few hours. Reminds me of bad Halloween candy.
Okay.
But classy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's some torrone. If you want it, you can have it. There's no weed in it.
You keep pronouncing wheat like weed, and now people think that I'm addicted to marijuana for my entire life or something.
No.
Your pronunciation of wheat. There you go.
There you go. Wheat.
There it is. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, there's no weed in it.
You're not off weed, right? You're okay with that?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe I'm okay with everything.
We should do a weed episode.
Hey, we got to do a weed episode.
Because in Canada, I don't know if our international listeners know this, cannabis is legal across the nation. So there you go. So we should do.
Some people say
we should do a episode where we cook with cannabis.
We should, and I think we can walk people through. It's very interesting. Like the government was like, we are going to sell weed, and then the government ran out on day 2.
I know.
I thought people would be like, who cares, dude?
Right.
I've always gotten weed from somewhere. Now, do I really want to go buy from the government?
Yeah.
Turns out we're a very law-abiding country. Or I think people wanted to be part of history, maybe. Anyway,
Perhaps.
going to be a great episode.
All right.
Okay, can we write that down for real?
Yeah, I'll write it down.
Okay.
I'll write it down. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to deal with eggnog because it's Christmas time. Eggnog's all around. Eggnog, all one word.
Yeah.
Do you know what nog means?
I mean, it sounds like, look at this nog.
Look at this nog.
Doesn't, yeah, it doesn't sound like it's flattering. I don't know what it means.
Well, okay, so in
I feel weird that I've never questioned that.
No. You hear it all your life.
Yeah.
Eggnog, you nog in your head like
Yeah.
nog. What does nog mean? So there's two theories going on. One is that nog was a kind of strong beer brewed in East England, in Anglia. I don't know, East England.
Okay.
That was an area of England.
Yeah.
So it was a strong beer brewed there. It was called nog. Another legend or sort of history of it is in 1693, nog may have come from the word noggin, not your head, but the Middle English term for a small wooden mug used to serve alcohol.
Okay.
So there you go. So eggnog. And there was a whole bunch of things about how it was called milk punch and all this stuff, but I wasn't going to get into it. Instead, I'm going to make you a cocktail with eggnog.
I like that more. Eggnog confuses me, Marco.
Okay,
I'm going to let you make this a cocktail, and if you think, folks, if you're listening and you think Marco's not going to spill something, you are incorrect. There's a lot of stuff
You know what I
going
don't
on
have
here.
is
There
my
we go.
jigger.
Jigger.
I'm going to do it without my jigger.
Do without your jigger.
All right, I'm just going to...
Can you tell people what a jigger is before
jigger,
they feel that they're being subject to some kind of racist...
No, no. Why do you make it seem like I'm that person? Why do you have to make me seem like that person? I'm not that person, okay? Now I'm conscious about how I say things because of wheat.
Yes.
Okay, so a jigger is the little measuring cup that you use to make cocktails or
It's
alcohol.
the holidays. Let's throw the jigger to the wind.
Okay.
Huh?
So none of that. You are not having any of milk, so I got you a non-dairy coconut-based eggnog. Is that okay?
I love coconut. I've expressed this in a past episode.
We're going to do... Okay. So,
Isn't this great? Instead of singing the future episode, which we may or may not do in a past episode, I talked about my love for coconut. Check out that episode. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
Actually.
So about 3 ounces of your nog.
Yeah.
Okay?
Can't get over that word. All right.
Now, with this particular cocktail, you can put whatever alcohol you want. Now I'm not even speaking properly.
Now you're the problem with yourself. You don't even need me.
You made me self-conscious. Now I can't make a good drink. Okay, so some people like vodka in it. Some people like rum. I've given you some options here, okay? You can have brandy or you can have bourbon. Which would you like?
I'll have the bourbon.
All right,
thank
bourbon.
you.
Jim Beam for you.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
sure,
I'll have
sure.
brandy in mind. So, if you make a classic eggnog, it's going to be brandy or rum with eggnog.
Yes.
Here we're making a martini. So I'm going to use bourbon, just about an ounce of bourbon. And I walked to the store because I didn't have a car to buy this. Amaretto because I was like, I can't not let you have the amaretto. Okay, so it's about a half ounce of amaretto. And I wanted to get the small bottle. You know how they have small bottles? This is a 750. I wanted the 500 ml. And the person's like, you want a Mickey? I'm like, who do you think I am? I'm going to walk around with a Mickey of amaretto. No, I want the small bottle. I didn't even think there was a thing called a Mickey. Anyways, so I wasn't pleased. And then they were like, no, I can't shake near the...
Yeah, should I cover the microphone?
Just talk while I shake. Talk while I shake.
All right. Shake. That's a big ice. That's a big chunk of ice in there, as you can hear.
All right.
I've always thought eggnog was so weird. It's like, it's the holidays. There's a fire roaring. We're hot. We're almost sweating. What do we want? Oh, let's cool off with a beverage made of eggs and booze, a dairy beverage. It's just a strange thing.
See,
but then when you have
I disagree. I'm grating nutmeg on Ali's
nice touch
cocktail. While you drink, I'll explain why eggnog is so wonderful. So eggnog for me is wonderful because it's cold outside. How is it?
It's great.
Is it good?
Yeah,
is it good?
It's really good.
Because I don't like the color of that one.
Oh, no, because it's the coconut one.
Because it's the coconut one. I'm going to make myself...
You want a sip of this?
No,
it's really good.
Okay, let me try a little bit of yours.
Yeah.
So for me, it's
you judge, you look down on the coconut people, but you can't let me look down
bourbon,
on the eggnog.
the bourbon and
coconut.
An aftertaste of the amaretto. It's all there.
It's
good.
all there, man.
It's all there. I could have probably put a little bit more bourbon in there for you.
Well, you know what? I'm here. The bourbon's here. Shall I?
Do you? All right, do you? Okay. Oh, look how beautiful the color of my eggnog is. It's the proper. It looked like a chicken just shit in my shaker, and that's how I like it. All right, I'm going to use brandy.
Okay. All right.
All right.
It's not only the jigger that we're throwing to the wind here. Huh?
All right.
Just all class and decorum.
All right. Ali, are you gonna, since you've made a mess of yours now, it looks like it's all bourbon. Do you want to shake it? Because now it's all on the top. You know what? It's a bourbon floater.
What if I, it's a
No, that's just wrong.
No, with my pinky finger
this
here?
pinky. All right, I'm going to shake away from it. But what I want you to do is, if you don't mind, is take a picture of this martini once it's done so that we have it for people.
This is actually very good.
Oh, is it good? All right, good. And this is mine. The beautiful color. And so what's nice about an eggnog martini is that if you have people coming over and you want a festive drink and you don't want to give them a mug of egg with brandy, this gives it a little bit more of a higher class. See, now you can see the nutmeg on top of mine. Yours you couldn't really see.
That's true.
Because of the color.
That's true, and I found that a bit curious, that I was like, this is some beige-colored nutmeg, but it's not. It's because the drink
is like odd color. All right, cheers, my friend.
Listen, he can slag this drink off all at once, but all he wants is this is a delicious drink, I got to say.
Easy to make. 3 ounces eggnog, 1 ounce of whatever a base liquor you want, whether that be vodka, whether it be bourbon, brandy. Oh, with brandy, it's
don't
fantastic.
go gin or anything.
No,
Don't be
gin
a
is
psycho.
too aromatic, I would say.
Yeah.
You want a base that is in the theme of the holidays and of a sweeter drink. So I don't associate gin with sweet drinks.
Right.
Creamy drinks like this. I associate more rums, the molasses, the sugar.
Gin and cream don't.
No,
have
and
never
brandy
paired.
goes well with it because you may have heard of a Brandy Alexander. These darker liquors are going to work well with your eggnog. So that's my tip for you. Enjoy your holiday eggnog. I'm going to have a little bit of this Torrone since you don't want it.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't say that. I was just making fun of it for no good reason. Let's do this.
It comes in both soft and hard, but I prefer it hard, and thus that's
It's going to be difficult for us to.
No, that's why
communicate our
you
feelings
took a
here.
bite. I'm not going to take a bite. And now it's time for your segment, my friend.
All right.
Is there any last eggnog thing you want to say? No,
There isn't. I learned where
he's got
eggnog has come
total-
from.
So for those of
Drunk Englishmen created eggnog.
Yes.
Now it all makes sense.
makes sense.
I thought it was something locally created in North America. Makes sense that the Englishmen did this. And then also the word nog. We all learned it has a distorted history. We're not 100% sure where it came from. And then we learned that we can be flexible with eggnog as well. For me, it was just I always assumed it was the eggnog container with some rum. I thought that was the entire thing. Didn't know about the brandy. Didn't know about the flexibility.
Yeah, anything strong and that has a bit of a sweetness to it. Bourbon's sweet. Brandy has a sort of sweetness or has a richness to it that goes well with milk. And I would argue that so does bourbon. Bourbon has
What do you
sweetness.
think would happen with the tequila? I'm going to go make one right now.
I don't think it would not work because you can use vodka. Vodka is kind of tasteless, right? It doesn't have a really strong taste unless if it's a flavored vodka, right? Tequila does have a taste to it, but I don't think it would go. I don't think it would be bad in this particular drink. Okay. Whereas for me, gin is far too aromatic for this.
Okay.
Drink. And there you go.
All right.
Now we don't know. I don't know if your food item is going to pair well with this eggnog, so it might just be totally.
It's not going to pair poorly. I chose it for the holidays.
Great.
And I think you'll like it. It's going to taste better than this Torrone, I'll tell you that
You
much.
don't like it?
It's all right.
Oh, man.
I feel like my cavities are going to fall out.
That's
my
a beauty of it.
Yeah?
This has been around since the Samaritans, whoever they were.
Hey, when you start getting passionate about who the Samaritans were, I will also. But right now, we both don't exactly know what they were doing.
I'm going to move this stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. It's your turn, buddy. I pass the baton. What would be equivalent to what's a culinary baton I would pass?
The spatula?
I pass the spatula to you, my friend.
Well, okay, so I am, in the midst of
How often
really...
do you use a spatula? That's what I need to know. All right? I like how you
Very
started
good,
off
very
so...
good attention span. Very good attention span. I like it. I use a spatula daily.
Okay.
Mostly rubber spatula.
Okay.
To get, all of the omelet out of the frying pan. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but you don't have your spatula handy and then you get a bunch of stuff out of a bowl. Some kind of an omelet is a great example, an egg batter or something. And then you find your spatula and you take what was left in the bowl that was going to be left behind and you find 3 tablespoons worth of food that was going to go waste. And you're like, whoa. I'm not trying to be a massive stinge here.
Sure.
But this is crazy.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm hooked on rubber spatulas after a couple of things like that.
So it is the spatula. Sorry, you started off in such a lovely manner explaining whatever it was, and I just rammed myself in there. Okay.
All right. I hope
Talk
our
to me.
listeners are kind enough to forgive that. I have been very much interested in exploring everything I can do with root vegetables these days. And there's 2 reasons. Number one, my family subscribes to this delivery service. But I don't need those guys. So once a month, sometimes twice a month, they send stuff, a $50 basket of food.
Okay.
The price is set, $50.
Right.
And then you just figure out what's going to be in there. But I don't need them to send me a cucumber.
Right.
I can get a goddamn cucumber. Okay, thank you very much. But what I can't find as easily are maybe cilantro microgreens or some other kind of thing. The other thing is that sometimes I'm away, so for my wife, it makes it very easy for me to get the delivered stuff to be the heavy stuff. So the squashes, the big, pound or 2 pounds of turnips, even radishes, parsnips we had, and also these things. The sweet potato.
Okay.
So we get like a pound, 2 pound bags typically. A pound is nothing. 2 pound bag plus.
Can I start eating this?
I wish you would.
Okay. Did you heat it in this thing?
No, I didn't.
Okay, go.
I didn't. I mashed it in a separate bowl and then I put it in.
Because this is not microwavable.
Oh, yeah. It didn't go in the microwave. This never touched the microwave.
good.
These are also things that the listeners don't really need to be concerned with.
They need to know everything. They hear us chomping and smacking our lips.
It's true. You are so
It's such an intimate.
Yeah.
It's an intimate connection that our listeners have with us. So I'm not going to lie to them.
I'm going to take a picture of the bowl that is not microwavable.
I'm going to take a picture of you taking a picture of the bowl. I'm going to post it right away.
I'll post it right away. Come on.
You look so good in this picture.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just happy. I'm happy. I have food. I have drink. What else do you need?
All right. Talk to me. Root vegetables.
So one
the
thing
humble
is,
sweet potato.
Yeah. So the one thing is that it's the delivery service. Number 2 is I was doing the Whole30, which you heard about ad nauseum.
Yes.
But with the Whole30, you're looking at all kinds of vegetables in a different way. You have a limited amount of things you can eat, and the sweet potato. I was reminded once again, is incredibly versatile. And now we're coming in to December and people are doing, potato casseroles and this kind of stuff. But the sweet potato, don't sleep on the sweet potato.
No, the sweet
people.
potato is a glorious.
It is glorious.
Is it a tuber? Can I call it a tuber?
It is a tuber.
It's a glorious, wonderful tuber. If the Statue of Liberty had to hold a tuber in her hand, it should be the sweet potato. That's how I feel. That's how much I love the sweet potato.
Okay, all right.
I'm not a
Liberty, justice, and tubers for all, said Marco Timpano.
I am not a fan of the potato. Right. Ever since the famine, I've had a problem with it, okay? And I'm not even Irish, dude.
I know that affected you personally, Marco. I know.
No, but you give me a sweet potato fries, sweet potato mash. Sweet potato is the way you've done it.
Yeah.
You even a baked sweet potato, and I'm a happy person, man.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. My introduction to sweet potatoes was really the sweet potato fry. That is, I'm like 20 years in on the sweet potato fry, and it is still 50-50.
Wow.
Sometimes they arrive mushy. Sometimes they arrive parts of them cooked, parts of them not cooked, right? And sometimes they're just glorious. And you're like, I'll have this every time. But there's no consistency in the sweet potato fries game. But if you look around the world a little bit, and by the way, people will call sweet potatoes yams.
Yes.
Technically not the same thing.
You're right.
For our purposes today, let's say they are.
Okay.
Because when the holidays, when people are making candied yams and all this kind of stuff, which I'm going to get to, we're
going to give you the sweet tuber pass on today's episode.
Thank you.
Okay? That's what we're going to do.
We're going to go deep into tuber land over here. So basically, you eat if you've ever eaten at any restaurant that has food from some African nation, Ethiopian. They
love
have,
Ethiopian
right?
food.
They have sweet potatoes coming out. The wazoo. Wazoo, also a great dish, also an African. No, it isn't. But
I wasn't going to touch that with a 10-foot pole after you.
But cassava, sweet potatoes. There's so many different root vegetables that are celebrated in various, all the way from North Africa down. Right. Great cuisines will celebrate sweet potatoes. Sure. Ethiopian food, as you mentioned. In Asian food, in Asia. I don't know if you see the real versatility of sweet potato. If you ever go for Korean food, you go for Japanese food. Japanese, there's sweet potato pastries. There's sweet potato cakes. There's a sweet potato-based soup in China, tong sui. Tong sui?
Tong sui, I love it. Yeah.
And then the Japanese, God bless their hearts, sweet potato shochu spirits, right? Like a sake instead of made.
Korean or Japanese?
That is Japanese.
Okay.
So instead of made from, maybe the Koreans do it too.
I thought soju was Korean.
I'm talking about shochu in any case.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah,
I heard what I wanted to hear.
But I also turned it into soju, thinking that this was the spelling and the way you say it. And in fact, it isn't. I think you're right. But it's like the way sake is derived from rice.
Sure.
There's sweet potato spirits as well. So it's made its way everywhere. It's also in street food. Indonesians, Filipinos know it very, very well in a variety of different things. Sometimes it's like a dried and eaten as a dry, almost like a dried mango or something. Dried apricot type of thing.
Almost like chips. You could make, like I've seen chips made of vegetables.
Yes.
And of all the chips, the sweet potato is my favorite.
And you see the orange in there. Same here. So everyone's doing great stuff.
Yeah.
Then we land on our United States here.
No.
And
here we go.
Look, man, here's what I made for you today. What did you think of the flavor?
First of all, I stopped eating because I wanted to eat in the moment. And I was going to inhale this as if it was my last breath.
Okay, do you know what this is? This is ghee. Could have been butter.
No,
but
it's ghee.
It is ghee.
For those of you who didn't listen to the ghee episode, go back a few episodes.
Clarified butter.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
All
give you that, but then you go back.
Yep.
Clarified butter. Okay, on a very low heat.
Yep.
Low, medium, low. Just chunks of sweet potato in that. Salt. And 1 garlic clove, and that is the entire thing. And then I mash it up together, add a little bit more ghee, so it's just this creamy sweet potato mash with very little in it. Salt, obviously, and then of course I added a little chili oil. Sorry,
okay, so you added chili oil, because it's got bite to it.
It's got a bite to it, yeah.
You also put pepper, ground black pepper,
yes.
Which is
I love the way I say no other ingredients except this
because
this,
I like the. This is a very rounded dish in that you get a large flavor profile.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are right now rolling your eyes and saying, "What the fuck is he talking about? Who is this degenerate?"
Yeah.
So listen. I'm going to just dispel all that stuff. What a flavor profile means to me is that you taste different elements in that dish. You don't just taste one flavor. So it's not just salt, right? I've got the sweetness from the yam/sweet potato. I've got the heat from the oil. I've got a little bit of that umami from the garlic that you have in there.
Yeah.
I have the pepper. The peppercorn adds a little bit of texture, but it adds a little bit of warmth to the dish. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about flavor profile, all right?
I love it. I love it.
And I'm not saying it to be, look how great I am. I'm just saying, listen, you use it how you will.
Or don't use it how you will if you're making candied sweet potatoes. Check out this flavor profile.
Okay.
Brown sugar.
Yes.
Marshmallows.
Okay.
Maple syrup.
Yep.
Molasses.
This is all in one dish? No.
Orange juice. Marron glacé. Well, it doesn't have to be all, but these are the kind of things. I've definitely had it with marshmallows, brown sugar,
that's not
and
my
maple
thing.
syrup.
That's not my thing. I've had it too, especially in the southern states.
Yeah.
And I like it as a dessert.
But it's not a dessert.
But
it's
for me,
served
it's a
beside
dessert.
the turkey on Thanksgiving.
It's a dessert.
Anyway, it's a disaster, and I just wanted to. I feel like that is something that would give. These candied yams give sweet potato a bad name.
I think so,
want
too.
you to bring back the sweet potato to its essence. And really, you even said a baked sweet potato.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the baked sweet potato.
No.
And I haven't even. You don't need the sour cream. Maybe some chives, maybe some butter, maybe some olive oil drizzled on. That's it.
Or treat it like you would a potato, and smear it in sour cream. Throw the chives on, bacon bits. It's still going to work. It's such a versatile vegetable here that and it's better for you than the potato.
Yeah.
Which I have a problem with.
Yeah.
If you have fries in front of me, I'll pass.
Really?
It's not my thing. You can ask my wife. I always say
nobody's French fries. There's not like one place you go these guys make good French fries.
I'll have French fries with my burger, but if I don't, I'm totally fine. No loss. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there a way that a potato is made that you're like, this excites me? I like the way these.
My mother's gnocchi. That's about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that is like a potato flour in any case, right?
Well, no, it's not potato flour. It's potato.
It's potato pieces
It's
with a wheat flour. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay.
right.
Right. Okay, but by that point, you can't really taste
And
the potato.
I'll tell you this. Speaking of gnocchi, my mom will sometimes cut the potato in the gnocchi with sweet potato.
Ah.
Yeah, she doesn't use it completely sweet potato because the gnocchi will be too
sweet. Of course.
But she'll cut it
You see that?
You know, like
see that? The versatility never ends.
Like dealers cut their cocaine.
Yeah. With fentanyl. So your mother's fentanyl is sweet potato.
There you go.
Okay,
That's a horrible thing to say.
That's a horrible thing to say.
We don't want anybody to be on fentanyl.
Or don't snort your sweet potato also, I think is another thing that we should probably say. Please eat it like a respectful human being.
Yeah.
But I think if you know anything about me, it's like I love versatility. This is why I get so excited about the coconut. How many things can you do with it? And the sweet potato is no exception. People look at sweet potato and there's way too much eye rolling going on at the sweet potato, and I wanted that.
And it can be as simple as this: wash your sweet potato, cut it in thin slices, maybe an eighth of an inch.
Yep.
Put it on a sheet pan with parchment paper underneath. A little bit of olive oil, salt, little squiggle of pepper all around that. Bake it in your oven.
Yeah.
450 degrees. 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, take it out. Beautiful.
Bob's your mom.
Yeah, and that is so simple. It doesn't get more simple than sweet potato.
It doesn't. Another thing we were really enjoying, beside any piece of meat, a piece of steak or chicken or fish, when we were eating primarily meat and vegetables, was to sort of steam sweet potato, have it in chunks, even if we baked it the way you described, and just pour a big tablespoon of pesto across it.
Yeah.
Pesto and sweet potato and herbs in general go so well together. And for me, that's missing here, but I'm trying to illustrate the simplicity. As it was, I go with the oil, I go with the black pepper, and I overdid it. It didn't have to do all that. But herbs also.
I would say any orange vegetable goes well with herbs.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm being, think about it. Carrots, you throw some herbs to it. Wonderful.
Orange peppers,
herbs.
Sure.
Sweet potatoes. Well, I don't like orange peppers, so for me it's irrelevant. but sweet potatoes. What else is orange? The musical group, Peaches and Herb. Peaches are orange.
An actual musical group?
They're famous. They have a song. Peaches and Herb. Isn't that what they're called?
There's no way. There's a band called Peaches and Herb, which is
from the
famous that
70s.
I've never heard of.
Oh, come on. They had that hit. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up while you
they had that hit, and then you just looked at me with your hand, and you waved your hand by your head. I don't know what you were expecting.
You're going to regret this.
Okay. Peaches and Herb is a thing?
Peaches and Herbs. American vocalist duo.
Really?
Hang on.
I'm already embarrassed.
That's Peaches and Herb. Disco funk.
They're
R&B.
black too?
Yes. Come on. This is the first time you heard of Peaches and Herb.
Herb is a very...
Hang on. They had that song. What's that song? Let's Fall in Love. Damn. I just can't read this fast enough.
Well, I hope anyone listening is filling in the blanks here. I'm embarrassed.
Reunited.
I'm sorry.
Reunited.
And it feels so good.
Yeah. And then. Yeah.
Reunited.
Now, do you know who Peaches and Herbs are? All right, thank you. I rest my. I'm going to drop this mic. If it wasn't so expensive, I would drop this mic on the floor.
Well, I mean, I still don't know that name. I love their one hit. Maybe they have more. I shouldn't be.
I like that you said, and they're black. Whoa, what's that about?
Herb. I thought Herb was.
Oh, you thought that was his name.
Herb.
Oh, you thought that was. Her name was Peaches.
Her name was Peaches.
No.
The one Peaches I know was a white woman that
Bob Geldof's daughter.
Is she?
I think her name is Peaches, yeah.
Oh, okay, so there's Bob Geldof, but there's another electronic music artist, Peaches. I think she was white. Now I don't even know about that anymore. And then Herb is just, I picture an old Jewish accountant. You know what I mean?
I knew a German guy named Herb.
Okay.
All right.
And also Herb will go back into our marijuana episode.
That's right.
Coming
That's
up
right.
It all
comes back.
It all comes back.
All right.
Okay.
Enough of this. I'm gonna get my blindfold on. But I still...
And Marco, why are you going to get your blindfold on?
It's for the next segment called What's in Marco's Mouth.
What's in Marco's mouth? That's right. What's in Marco's mouth? It's nothing dirty. We'll guessing, we'll messing. Let's find out. What's in Marco's mouth?
All right. I cannot see.
Have you pressed play?
Yeah, it should be recording. Is it moving?
I see it moving. It's
okay.
moving. It's moving. All right. Now, Marco, let me just preface this one by saying you're not going to get this.
Oh,
okay?
damn it.
It's impossible. Es imposible. C'est impossible. Na mumkin hai. That's all the languages I know.
Oh, man. What's
Na
that?
mumkin means not possible in Urdu.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, you're going to get some of it. But you can't. There's no way you describe exactly what this dish is.
Oh,
so already
shit.
that's a hint right there. Let me just tell you that there's a protein and a starch.
Okay.
Okay? And you can describe...
That's probably the only thing I would have got. I would have said it was
Well, one's a protein, one's a starch.
How
Well,
hot is it? I just need to know before you put it in my mouth.
it's a
how
bit
hot
hot. It's a bit on the hot side.
Jesus. Okay. But hot as in heat, not as in spice, right?
I mean hot as in heat. That's
Because
what
we
I'm
say in
talking
Italian, we say caldo if it's hot, picante if it's spicy.
about. Right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
all right. Let me know when you're ready.
Those are words in English too, as you just described. One is hot and one is spicy. This is not spicy. I'm trying. Okay. I was about to give it away completely by saying something.
Okay.
All right. It's.
I smell
it's not too
chestnuts.
hot. Okay. It's the holidays. You're smelling chestnuts. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Oh man, I want to take a picture of this after he said chestnuts. Hold on.
It's not chestnuts.
Okay.
I know these flavors.
Es imposible. What are you getting? What are you getting so far? Do you want me to isolate the flavors? Does that work?
Are you able
for
to
you?
isolate
I
the
may be
flavors?
able to
Oh, yeah,
isolate
the
the
fucking isolate these
Isolate
flavors.
the
Oh, so what are you giving me now? Are you giving me the protein or the starch?
The starch.
Okay,
I'm
the
gonna
starch.
give you the starch.
Okay.
God damn it, it's hot. I don't want to burn your mouth. All right.
It's got a berry is it a wheat berry?
It's not a wheat berry.
It's not a wheat berry. Okay, hang on. Does the starch have some sort of fruit in it? Did you put some sort of like pomegranate bullshit seed or something?
There is no fruit.
This is just the starch.
This is the starch with something added to it,
Okay.
but not fruit.
Okay.
No, it's a starch with that's true. That's true. It does have some stuff in it.
Okay. Because it's very plump as a starch. It's got a very plump, almost as if you took something, soaked it so that it became larger in size.
Okay, let me give you the starch one more time.
Okay.
This one you're going to get. Okay, this is like two what's in Marco's mouth. There's a starch version and then a protein version.
Yeah, it's like this grain. Mm-hmm. Has an abundance of water or liquid in it. It's not a rice. It's groats. It's not groats because groats are. It almost tastes like mushrooms. Like it has a very earthy, umami kind of flavor to it as a starch.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you that the reason it has that flavor is
because
probably
there's mushrooms.
because of the protein. No,
Oh, okay,
no
'cause of the-
mushrooms.
okay, 'cause of the protein, okay.
So now let's move on to this protein.
Okay.
And you try this. No, you can't have your hand out. You can't have your hand out. You're holding your hand out for something that you will hurt. You will be angry later that I put it in your hand.
Okay. That is cilantro with beef and it's like parsley beef. I gotta say, there's a green element to it. I want to say.
Okay, I'm gonna help you out there and say you got cilantro.
Okay, cilantro.
You got cilantro.
Okay, well, cilantro is a pretty easy one to get.
Yes.
It's like, okay. Some people, cilantro tastes like soap.
Yes.
So, cilantro beef with a side of gin rice that's been soaked in gin. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, so why don't you take off that blindfold and look at your failure. So this is cod.
Cod. Oh.
It's cod loin, if we
Okay.
want to be specific.
Cods
So
don't have loins. Cods do not have loins.
I don't know what to tell you. It said
loin
cod
is
loin
this
on
is
the
your
package.
loin.
I
Is
know,
your,
so what do you want from me? What
okay.
do you
You know
why
what?
you argue with the packaging?
It is totally cod. It is totally
So it's
cod.
totally
Yes,
cod?
yes. It is totally
You
cod.
can be angry about loin if you want to be.
It's
but
totally cod. Yeah. Now that hey, you know what kills me?
What kills you, buddy?
I almost said it was fish. I almost
You
said it
almost
was
did,
fish.
huh? And then you went with beef. beef.
I should have said it.
Go with your almost. And,
Okay,
and
I
then
have to.
that is a coating of something called za'atar. Do you know what za'atar
Yeah,
is?
isn't it an Asian spice? Right?
Middle Eastern
sorry.
spice of sesame seeds
Yes.
and thyme. Primarily those two things. Ground sesame seeds, ground thyme. So I was waiting for maybe the word thyme. That has some lemon on it. That's called. And that, my friend, I don't know what you were going on about. I thought you were going to say oatmeal in a second. This is rice.
But those peas threw me off.
Those peas threw you off.
Those peas, because I
think
felt
I'm
this.
just going to hand you some rice? Huh?
Oh,
Like a
man.
rookie? Like an amateur? Anyway,
It was totally cod. I should have said cod.
Should have said cod.
It was a passing fancy in my head was cod.
Yeah.
But because you know what? It would have had to have been stewed beef to have the sort of texture that the cod had. And I don't know why I didn't say fish.
But cod is much softer than
No,
stewed
no, for
beef.
sure. That's what,
And-
but yes,
yeah.
but it isn't. Because that's not a soft fish. That has some texture
has some
to it.
texture to it,
It's an oilier fish too,
Yeah.
right? So it's got a meaty quality to it, right? A fish does not have loins.
Listen, buddy.
Okay, you can call it what you want.
Could I have misread and it said cod lions?
No,
Could
no,
it be
no.
a lion cod?
No.
Could it be one of the
No, but
main-
you know what lionfish is? Lionfish is also called sculpin. But it's not sculpin.
Okay. If you wanted to feel better about yourself, if that's closer to beef and you want to say it's sculpin.
it's smoke and mirrors right now. I'm trying to say shit.
I know. And I'm like, we want to walk down that road.
No,
we can.
they are calling it. I've seen it too.
You've seen the cod
loin, yeah. But
and I don't understand because it's not like if cods did have a loin, it would be the size of a nickel, right?
Right. Yeah,
Underneath
yeah.
But instead, a cod loin is as big as my forearm, so it's I don't know. It's just
I think it's just a ploy of like loin when you're dealing with meats.
Tenderloin
is
and so
a
on.
much more
positive.
higher priced item too. So rather than call it cod fillet,
Yeah.
because the loin is like a fillet, right?
Look,
It's
these
like-
were fillets.
yeah.
That's what they were at the
Right?
end.
Or
Yeah.
fillet. I think if you're in the States, right? They call it fillets.
Well, get on board with the fillet because fillet sounds obscene. Anyway, that was an expensive fish, so yeah, they must be overcharging us for no good reason. That is yours to stare at
thank you.
and feel bad about.
Okay.
And I knew you weren't going to get it, but you know what? Hey, we'll always have cilantro. We'll always.
I mean, but cilantro. If you can't get cilantro,
If
like
I hadn't put cilantro in there, we would have had
the peas.
worst.
But I did say rice. I said rice
You
soaked in
said,
gin.
you said it's not rice.
No, then I said. But
your
in my
final
final
answer
column,
had rice
have
in
you
it?
ever soaked rice in gin?
No, I've heard about this. I've seen this happening.
I haven't
never-
had it, but
Yeah.
I'd like it. So next time.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe we'll stagger that another 10 episodes. I can't just give that to you.
No, fair.
Or I'd just make it as a dish.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I
new
meant.
year. In the new year, that's the way to do it. Okay, rice and gin. We'll look into that. And you said to me earlier, you said, "Don't forget to tell me what happened. Don't forget to ask me what happened yesterday."
Yes, but not on the air.
Oh, hilarious! You're just going to keep that from people?
I'm going to keep it from people because we'll know in the new year.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to leave.
It could be
a
some
little
good
cliffhanger.
news for Marco
Remember that
Timpano?
episode? Who shot JR?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I thought we were an open book. We eat food intimately, and then we describe our bowls and say that they're not microwavable. I thought everything was on the table here.
No, I can't.
Marco's keeping something from
I
you.
will put it on the table, but not till the new year.
Okay,
All right?
good. Well, eventually he'll put it on the table, and I
Yeah.
didn't mean to bring it up. I didn't realize you wanted to discuss things off the air. I thought we were an open book.
No, we are, but I just can't for this thing. You'll know why when I
will.
tell you
will.
off the air.
And people listening, you will know why as well. And also, I hope it's good news.
Who
It'll
shot
start
JR,
our
by the way?
Jesus.
Come
that's
on.
I'm too young to know.
It was
that.
the sweet potato. All right. Thank you for
Somebody
listening.
hopped up on eggnog, if anything.
It was Kristen. It was Kristen. who
Was
shot-
it?
Yeah, it
True
was Kristen.
story?
Yeah, I know trivia. We should.
Is it? First of all, I don't know if this is Dallas or Dynasty. It's Dallas, right?
Dallas. Joan Collins was on Dynasty.
yeah.
And Ronald Reagan's first wife was on Falcon Crest.
Nancy Reagan was the second wife?
Yeah,
Oh, I
it
didn't
was.
know that.
I can't remember. Jane Wyman was on Falcon Crest. And
We've
how do I
lost
know this?
anyone under
I'm just gonna
58.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
our
going to say,
problem.
I know this because my grandmother would watch Falcon Crest because people told her she looked like the protagonist played by Jane Wyman on Falcon
If
Crest.
you're a showrunner or a producer of a show, that's the way to do it. You go up to random people on the street. You look like somebody from this new show. Have you seen the show? No, I don't know the show. Well, you look exactly like the person. And she's beautiful.
My grandmother
And then
didn't
you
speak
leave.
any English, but she would watch the show, and then she would tell me
Yeah.
in Italian what was going on. And I'm like, how do you know what's going on? She's like, I know. Anyways,
Good
I'm
stuff.
sure a lot of people are saying, I don't know what's going on in this
I don't know what's
podcast
going on
right now."
either.
All right.
But it's great. We'll see you again soon. Until we eat again, everybody.
We hope you got your fill of Eat and Drink with Ali Hassan and Marco Timpano. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Podcast Eat Drink. Email them your cocktail and food suggestions to podcasteatdrink@gmail.com. Until the next episode, bottoms up.